Hey guys, I'm gonna try and film this again. I tried it a few days ago and just my mind was scattered and all over the place when I tried to do it then, so hopefully I'll have some better luck filming this today, but anyways. I figured I would do kind of a check-in sort of deal of just life in quarantine since we're all in the same boat right now, pretty much. I mean, this is so unprecedented. I know we all keep using that same term, but really though, in our lifetimes, nothing like this has ever happened. God help us if anything like it ever happens again in the future if we get out of this. But my God, it's crazy. Like even like the elderly who are like 100 years old have had to admit that they've never seen anything like this in their lifetimes. It's insane, which makes it that much more scary. That's like, God damn, we're living in plague times here. But oh boy, initially, if we go back through my last video that I made on this, I originally was very smug and thought that I would be, for some reason, unaffected by this because, yeah, normally I work from home and I generally don't leave the house except to go to, like, the grocery store, and that's about it. I generally don't leave my house, so I figured it'll just be like a normal fucking day for me. I mean, what's it gonna do? Boy, did I underestimate that. I thought I would just carry on as normal and be completely unaffected. What I didn't take into account was how much the ripple effect would be the thing that would affect me. And now I'm like, ah, shit. And yes, before I go any further, I realize that my problems are so minuscule compared to a lot of people's right now, and I don't discount that at all. I know there's a lot of people dealing with way the fuck worse shit right now than my piddly little problems, but at the same time, that does not take away from my experience that I personally am going through. We can both go through the same thing different ways, people. Just saying, because I know damn well I'm going to get the same comments that I did on that one of, oh, you overprivileged piece of shit, da 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 da, you wouldn't know a real life problem if it bit you on the ass, da 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 da. I know. You're allowed to feel that way, and I'm allowed to feel my way. I'm allowed to experience the world however the fuck I feel like, just like you are, your way. That out of the way. Yeah, I did not take into account that Amazon would essentially shut the fuck down. I mean, they're still shipping essentials, which makes sense. They're still shipping out what they have in their warehouses of other things, just slower than they are the essentials, which again makes sense. But when they run out of those, they are not restocking the non-essentials until this is all over. Now, pause and think about that. Think about how huge the economy on Amazon is. And now think about how many people buy from there. And now take into account the fact that everybody's home, everybody's trying to shop from home, and how quickly those things have sold out. Even for fairly basic things. Now take into account somebody who normally works from home anyway and depends on those things to run her fucking business. And it's like, oh, fuck balls. I'm like this close to out of printer ink, and I don't know where I'm supposed to get more. I thought, they claim things that are not only household essentials, but essential to working from home would be included in this, that would include printer ink. And yet, out of stock for the one for my printer, and I've yet to find anywhere that hasn't completely jacked the price to such a point where I'm like, it's not worth it. I'll try and figure something else out, but that's not worth it. I'm not paying $60 for one ink cartridge. It's not fucking happening. I mean, it's insane when I pay like $30 for like a 2-pack for the printer ink I use. So I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not paying over $60 for one cartridge. First off, I don't have it. Second, it's not happening even if I did. But Good God. Like, this is shitty that places are allowed to get away with price gouging. I know that they made it illegal to price gouge on things like the hand sanitizers, masks, things like that people fucking need right now. They should have made it illegal to price gouge anything right now, but they didn't, and now places are doing it. So I'm kind of effed in the A on that one, since I can't just go down to the library to print out my shit, since they're closed, and will be closed indefinitely. I can't go down to, like, Office Max, because they're closed. All of the office supply stores around here, all closed. That's great. Of the places that are open, none of them have it. So I'm like, oh, this is fun. Didn't foresee that one happening, but this is fun. And then on top of that, I mean, things from Etsy have slowed to an absolute crawl. Ironically, the one thing that keeps selling, toilet paper covers. Of fucking course they are. But it's like, okay, now that I'm out of said color that I need to make said thing, how do I get more of it when the craft stores are closed and places everywhere that I would normally buy this from are out? Again, effed in the A. Didn't see that coming. Normally I have enough extra on hand for just about anything to be fine to go for months, but didn't foresee this happening. Didn't know I was gonna need to stock up so direly so quickly. With the Nez hats, I mean, I was kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel in my bank account and didn't have enough to restock that yarn to start with. That's one site that does still have the shit, but I don't have enough money to put in said order. And I still have open orders for those. So I'm like, okay, what do I have that's even marginally in the same color, even like, kind of, that I can substitute and swap out and hope they don't notice? Like, this is really bad. This is really bad to be in this position right now. It's like, oh fucking fuck, what do I do? Yeah, that's not great. I'm just like, that government stimulus money would be really good right about now, but don't even know if I'm gonna be eligible for it because I'm claimed as a dependent on my dad's taxes, so I might not even be eligible. Womp womp. Oh well. It's like, would have been nice, but I don't think it's gonna happen for me. So, really don't know where I'm gonna get the $120. Alright, well. So there's that. And just little things like that that normally wouldn't be an issue, but all of a sudden it's like, that's not good. What do I do now? I didn't prepare for this. What do I do now? With the data entry site I normally work on, oh, funny thing, with so many people working from home right now just trying to make ends meet, and so many people that got fired from their normal jobs, that site's been flooded with new people, and there's literally nothing available, no matter what hour of the day or night I go on there. So I don't have that usual avenue of income coming in. So between that and Etsy's virtually dead at the moment, that leaves YouTube, and despite the fact that my views have been extraordinarily good for my channel lately, the CPM rate dropped like a rock. It's like lower than January numbers, and January is usually the worst month of the year for everybody earnings-wise on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, come on, that's not even fair. I mean, I realize that they have to, like, reallocate the funds since there's so many people home and all swamping YouTube, all watching shit and playing ads, that money's gotta come from somewhere. They have to spread it out thinner. I get it, but it's just like, that really sucks. If this were any other time and I were getting these kind of views, retention, and interactions on my videos, I would be having, like, the best month of the year, but because they lowered that CPM rate, it's bad. It's bad. I didn't even get close to the payout last month. Maybe, if I'm lucky, combined with this month, I'll get paid next month. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. So that's about where I'm at financially, anyway. It's not good, but like I said, I realize a lot of people have it way the fuck worse with way more real problems than these. These are like little baby piddly problems. I know. I'm aware. I have it in perspective, believe it or not. But that doesn't mean that my problems don't exist. They still exist. Just, I realize, compared to other people's, that they're not that important. But I'm still left holding the ball trying to figure out how the fuck I'm gonna solve them. So, anyways, that's just for that. What I'm really taken by with all this is just how quickly, like, the entire fucking world had to change basically overnight for this. I mean, you can't go anywhere. I mean, yes, I realize I normally don't anyway, but I mean, even if I wanted to, can't go anywhere. Can't see anybody. Can't have anybody over. Can't go to anybody's house. So many things are closed that normally we take for granted, just being there, that you could just go to anytime that you wanted to. It's like, what the fuck? And of the places that are open, now it's taken on a whole new type of crazy. I mean, first we had the like gazillion people in the store. Then it was a fucking ghost town and nothing was stocked. And now it is turned into they're limiting how many people can come in the store at a time, and only one person per cart. If you came with somebody else, you have to leave. So I have to take my own cart when I go with my dad, because I don't drive, so I can't bring myself. So I have to make it look like I'm not with him to even be allowed in the store. Fun! I mean, it's madness, and to still see some people acting like this isn't a thing, that they think it's all a hoax. I just want to beat my head into the wall. It's like, what the hell? And you hear these stories about these douchefucks who go around and they like cough and spit on things, and they don't know if they're sick. They don't really care. They kind of hope they are, and that they'll infect a bunch of people, which is really fucked up. Let me answer this real quick and I'll come back to this. Sorry about that. But, yeah, you see all these things on the news. I mean, there was like that one story. It's like somebody who wasn't even trying to be malicious about it, just they happened to sneeze. They didn't cover their mouth. Somebody whipped out a gun and shot him. It was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, I realize tensions are high right now, but Jesus Christ, really? Craziness! Like, these are not things that should be happening, and just the way it has spread everywhere. It's like, you have to question every little thing you touch now. I mean, even if you don't leave the house, even just going out and getting the mail and walking back in the house, you have to realize that you touched the mailbox, the mailman also touched that you know has been handling everybody else's mail in and out and their mailboxes, so you don't know if they left germs on there. They have also been handling your mail, so you get to spritz that down with rubbing alcohol and hope that you didn't ruin your mail in the process, or wipe down the boxes with alcohol wipes. Anything that came in a package, you get to wipe down with more alcohol wipes. I mean, it's kind of an OCD nightmare, especially for somebody who's a germaphobe to start with. This is a fucking nightmare. And it's just like trying to tell myself that I'm overly paranoid about things and always has been, and yet seeing the way that it's literally being encouraged now, my mind is in a very weird place because of it. Of just, I mean, not a dark place or anything. It's not like that. But anxiety-wise, okay, I didn't think this was going to affect me really, but yeah, it's starting to kick in. And I think it's starting to kick in for a lot of people. A lot of people ran through all the do the things at home that you normally don't have time to do things in like the first week or two, and now we're starting to hit a point of, so I did all those, now what? We're all hitting that point now. But just seeing people acting like this and realizing that it's actually necessary and real for somebody who has anxiety to start with about that particular topic. Yeah, I it's just weird knowing that my anxiety is so fucking off the charts about this. Thankfully it hasn't really been like depression or anything like that kicking in. It's not like that. I'm not in crisis mode, so don't worry about that. I'm okay. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm okay, but I'm not okay. Like, I have enough scope of range to know, anxiety-wise, that I am not doing okay, at least where the anxiety's concerned. But in terms of, like, everything else that I have that goes on in my head at any given time, I'm doing okay with those. That's something. It's better than nothing, I guess, but I mean, it's something. But anxiety-wise, boy, am I not okay. But neither is anybody else, for the most part, if we're being real. It's just a very weird time to live in. And I'm kind of speechless. It's the weirdest damn thing to live through this. This is stuff that, I mean, it came on so quickly too. Like, a few months ago, would anybody have ever predicted that the whole world would be living like this now? That social distancing would be the new norm? Not knowing if you're gonna live or die if you so much as dare step outside your house. Like, what the fuck? I mean, I realize there's countries where that's the norm all the time, but for the rest of us, it's not. It's just crazy that, like, in the span of, like, a month or two, everything changed. Like, the only thing I can equate it to in my entire life that was, like, such a sudden overnight shift of everything in the world changing was 9/11, and even that was different, because we could still go outside and still do things, and places were still open, just people were too fucking scared to go to them. But I mean, they were open, they were there. But I mean, a lot of things changed overnight with that too, and our mindset about a lot of things never did 100% recover from that. I have a bad feeling this is gonna be another thing like that, where some of this stuff just sticks and becomes the new norm permanently. And I hope I'm wrong about that, but I mean, the longer this keeps getting extended out for, the more I'm starting to think of, oh, this might just be the way life is now. That would suck. That would really suck. I think a lot of businesses are gonna go under if this stays going on a lot more months, because I know, especially living in a dinky little town like I do, there's a lot of local places that they barely make their rent month to month. It's like, if they stay closed for months on end, they're done. Like, I know the comic book shop especially, like, if they stay shut one more month, they're done. My sister's boyfriend works there, so kind of have the inside track on that one. But there's a lot of little places like that are not chain stores or anything. They're just basically little mom and pop shops that they're gonna be fucked. And that really sucks, because there's really nothing you can do right now to try and stop it, other than just keep doing what we're doing and hope this goes away. But I mean, they already said that they expect that it will come back in the fall. It's just like, great! So we'll be doing this all again then. My big fear now is in the fall. So, when we have fire season, and living in California, where we have the fucking planned PG&E shutoffs and shit, you're telling me we're gonna have the corona quarantine shit going on at the same time as PG&E shutoffs? Oh, fuck that. I am so done with California. Like, if I had the means to just get the fuck out of here and not come back, I would. But I don't, sadly. But boy, if ever there were a time that I wish that I did, that. And now this video is gonna get demonetized because I said the name of the thing. Great! It rolled off my tongue a little too easily there, but yep, that's the world we live in. I don't know, it feels like, even though there's nothing really to say, because I think we're all kind of in the same boat, given that this is such a different thing than we have ever lived through before, it would seem a shame to not document it as it happens, even in, like, video diary format, just to have some kind of point of reference down the line, historically speaking, of where we all were throughout this whole thing, you know? So, I'll probably keep making these little check-ins, even though may not be too much to say about them, but just seeing how different things are even week to week at this point is crazy, and I feel like it is worth documenting. So